Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready? What? I said, are you ready? Yeah, can't steal it. Woo, we'll do it. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. You sweet me sour.
It's showtime, folks.
Welcome to the Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out, episode 84. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined by my illustrious, and they're okay at times, co-host, Josh Cole. Baby.
I want some coffee.
Go get some coffee then.
All right.
Coffee. Coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee. And the reflection of perfection, most of the time, he's kind of an okay guy.
You want some coffee?
Jason Lykens.
I actually have some. But you see, Jeff, the problem is before you went off on your tongue-in-cheek snide remarks, I was going to say that you forgot to mention the fact that you are now the new Grill Up Predictions champion. I was going to mention that for you.
That's okay.
No. I was going to do that. But then you had to mention your comments. So I am not going to talk about how you beat me one-on-one in the AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view predictions.
Mr. Five-Time.
For the Grill Up Predictions title. I'm not going to mention that because you had to be a smarty and do your introduction the way you did. So I'm not going to mention it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know.
8-6.
Wait a minute. I'm a 5-time champion now?
You're a 5-time champion?
Oh, thankfully it never left my car.
Yeah, I gave it back to you. And
yeah.
Listen,
never gave it to Josh.
In my defense, I tried to give it to Josh. I tried to give it back to Josh, and he was like, I can't remember what your response was, but you didn't seem like you were in that much of a hurry, because he probably thought he had more time with the title.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he thought that he would just get it stolen at a steakhouse.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Real quick, before we start to get into the show, Josh was mentioning he still has these trivia questions, just in case we did tie.
Yes.
That's right.
And we came very close to tying.
It almost happened.
It did.
It was the main event that got him.
Came down to one match.
Yeah.
You really needed Ospreay to win that main event, and he did not.
Oh.
It went to Hangman Adam Page.
How was it close if it was 8-6?
Well, y'all were tied 6-5. If you got the main event, y'all would have been tied at 6. Or I'm sorry. It was 7-6. If you got the main event, you would have been tied at 7.
I see.
And,
I see. Okay.
Yeah. We were very close to tying.
Math.
But yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're all you and I are comm majors. Josh he's a music major, but he was comm major adjacent.
Well, not a comm major anymore.
Well, we're comm graduates now.
I have my degree.
Yeah.
Multiple degrees now. He has a doctorate in Ultimo Dragonology.
Yes.
Dr. Jason Lykens. That's how I should be introducing you
It
now.
is.
Question.
Did we?
We did. We actually did get a question.
Yeah. I forgot who asked it and what the person was, but yeah.
Let me see real quick.
Josh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, while Josh is getting his questions up that he was going to ask, can you bring up the question? I can answer it.
I am. I'm going to the Facebook page right now.
So, Josh, what were the trivia questions?
All right, so I had a few. What was the original name of the specialized tornado tag team match that was held at Double or Nothing?
What? Say that again?
What was
I wasn't
the
ready.
original name of the specialized tornado tag team match that was held at Double or Nothing?
Which Double or Nothing? This Double or Nothing?
Any of them.
Any of
The
them.
original.
Yeah, I'm guessing the original since he said the original.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't at the original. It was just the original name of this particular match.
I'm going to say it was the Get the Young Bucks Over tag team match.
They
Final
were in
answer?
it.
Yeah,
I had a
that's my
feeling.
final answer.
Yeah. Was it like a Texas tornado match or
I mean, it was a Texas.
Yeah,
tornado.
but what was the name of it?
the name of it?
Yeah,
Like,
what did they call it?
Oh.
What was its gimmick? What was the gimmick name, right?
It's currently Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh, okay.
So what was it before that?
Was it Stadium Stampede?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Well, you see, you phrased the question terribly. I knew it was Stadium Stampede.
It's okay. All right. So the question was, this comes from
We'll
Andrew.
come back to you, Josh.
Yes, this comes from Andrew Hodges. Was Apache Bull Ramos at any point in his life Ultimo Dragon?
He was not.
Okay.
So thank you for the question, Andrew.
Yep.
I hope that answers your question. He was not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay. I'm glad that we are able to clear that up.
If you have if you have questions, please feel free to message the Grill Out, email us, call us if you have Jeff's phone number.
Please don't.
If you don't, I will give it to you. Hold on. Josh, while I bring up Jeff's phone number, do you have another question?
Yes. Okay, so that original name was Stadium Stampede. Then it became Anarchy in the Arena. What year did it become Anarchy in the Arena?
2020?
No, that was Stadium Stampede.
Oh, it's still Stadium
That was
Stampede.
the first Stadium
I'm going to
Stampede.
say
Okay.
2022.
Yep. Because it was both COVID ones were Stadium Stampede. And then when they moved out of the stadium, it became Anarchy in the Arena.
Okay.
Okay, so for those of you who would like to message Jeff directly,
I'm about to cut his mic off.
it is 304.
I'd shut his mic off.
2.
Yep. There we go.
All right.
2.
At the 2020 Double or Nothing, Cody Rhodes, who at the time just went by Cody due to legal issues with
Yeah.
WWE, he became the inaugural TNT champion. Who presented him with the championship?
Bret Hart.
Nope.
No, okay, I don't
Was it DDP?
Nope.
Oh. Oh, man.
know. Ricky Steamboat.
Nope.
Mike Tyson.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
because wasn't he falling asleep?
He might have been.
I think so.
I think Tyson was falling asleep.
Yeah, okay. Completely forgot about that, though.
Yeah.
That was a fever dream, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Rick and Morty episode of AEW Dynamite that was here in Charleston.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
just a fever
Yeah.
dream now.
Yeah, it was the first like Halloween-ish episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the fifth episode altogether of Dynamite.
Yeah.
And had the inaugural tag team champions.
We did.
Yeah.
They were crowned here in Charleston.
I sat behind an individual dressed like Randy Savage. A patriotic Randy Savage.
Wow. Okay.
All right. The other question I had at
He
the
smelled bad.
2023 Double or Nothing, immediately after retaining her title, Jade Cargill issued an open challenge for the TBS Championship. Who answered the challenge?
Chris Statlander.
Yep.
Okay. How many more questions do you got?
Well, I had a couple others, but you put them on the stay last week, so I had to remove them.
On this day.
Like I had what
We'll
was
get
the
to that.
original date of the event. I said what was the main event of that event.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Real quick, before we do get into Money in the Bank predictions, we got some new champions. Yes, I won predictions for AW Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Almost tied, but it was 8-6 with Jason. So that means I have to defend my title again for the first time.
Yeah,
on
what do you
this.
mean again?
Yeah, I stopped myself
Yeah.
after I said that. Here
Have
on
you
this
ever
episode.
won a title defense?
I think I have.
He's tied.
Yeah, I don't know if you have ever actually outright won.
I'm the king
a
of
title.
transitional
Yeah,
champions.
you are.
First reign, you tied twice. Second reign, no defenses. Third reign, no defenses. Fourth reign, no defenses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you are the weakest champion.
Oh, okay. So in other words, somebody's going to take the over on somebody else to win the title.
I mean, that would be the safe bet.
It would be.
Okay.
NXT's Trick Williams is the new TNA World Champion after defeating Joe Hendry at NXT's Battleground last Sunday. On Tuesday's NXT, Ethan Page defeated Ricky Saints to win the NXT North American Championship. Also on the show, it is a shock title change. JC Jane defeated Stephanie Vaquer to win the NXT Women's Championship. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce announced on Friday afternoon that Stephanie will be joining the Raw roster beginning Monday, competing in a Money in the Bank qualifier against Liv Morgan and Ivy Nile. On WWE Evolve on Wednesday, Kaylee Armstrong became the inaugural WWE Evolve Women's Champion, defeating Wendy Chu, Kendall Gray, and Kylie Ray in a fatal 4-way elimination match. So, Money in the Bank. We have 4 matches.
Confirmed at least.
Yes.
4 matches confirmed. If it was AEW, by the time the show happened, there would be 12 more matches.
Yeah.
But right now, there's only 4.
Which apparently that is one thing that's being talked about backstage amongst those in AEW. Like, they're happy with what happened with Double or Nothing. Like, nothing but positive stuff has been said about it. But a lot of people are like, hey, our pay-per-views are too long.
Yes.
We need to cut back a little bit, which I agree. That's one complaint we have had on the show.
Yes.
Like, especially with unless it's like Double or Nothing, where the show is the night that their show is the night that our show airs, to where we can get all of the picks in. Most time it's on Saturday, and we're not going to be able to get all of the. We don't know the full card, which we're about to be sort of with WWE Money in the Bank because it's on Saturday, but still.
I definitely do feel that a lot of pay-per-views anymore are way too long, but it makes it even more annoying whenever there's not adequate information to give the card ahead of time, because that's what sells matches. That's what sells buys, is people buying it because of the matches. So if you're only putting out big matches, that's all well and fine, but everybody deserves love with it.
I will say, at least with Double or Nothing last week, we had the entire main card. That did not change. 1 pre-show match was added. That was it.
Well, that's a record for Tony.
Yeah.
That is a record for Tony. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Tony, I need you to listen. Tony, stop what you're doing. Turn up your radio. Get closer. Tony. Come on. Just you and me. Buddy, I'm proud of you. Okay? You put thought into it. You got 99% of them out there. That's a big improvement, buddy. I'm proud of you. Papa's proud.
Yeah.
Which I will say, like, watching AEW here recently, I do feel like that they have improved in certain aspects, and I think that's one of them.
You hear that, Tony? Your family's proud.
Yes.
Give us a hug.
We also would like an interview with you.
Give us a hug.
Like to do that.
Come on, Tony.
Anyway.
Give us a hug.
Money in the Bank.
That's a good
like I
hug,
said,
Tony.
We only got 4. Oh, my goodness. We only got 4 matches on the card. First off.
Maybe 1 will be added because it's usually 5 matches. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Lyra Valkyria will be defending her WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
I know all about liars.
Against Becky Lynch in a last chance match. If Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge Valkyria for the title for as long as Valkyria is champion. But if Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and recognize her as the better woman, Josh.
So apparently this is actually a callback to a match they had in 2023 on NXT when when Lynch defended the NXT Women's Championship against Valkyria. I think that's what it was.
I'm just going to say, I think one of the stipulations here is a lot worse than the other.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I win, you can never challenge me again. But if you win, I'll raise your hand.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think Lynch was the one who proposed this stipulation, though.
It's just not a good
deal. Yeah. Becky Lynch.
You're going to Lynch? Okay.
I feel the next match is against Bayley. SummerSlam.
Okay.
Maybe a triple threat.
Maybe no, that was Sasha Banks and Bayley.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Iron Woman match.
Well,
Jason.
I'm going to have to agree with Josh and go Lynch.
Okay. Make that 3 for 3 for Lynch.
What's his title?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a little safer bet because I actually want to have an actual defense this time.
He's next to
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a clean defense. It's a tie. It's a dusty finish.
It's okay.
Yeah.
WWE Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We don't know one person for this.
Yeah.
There's one person to be determined. The final spot will be determined in a triple threat match on the June 2nd Raw. So tomorrow, Monday, tonight, if you're listening to this on WSWW or WCHS, between Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, and Stephanie Vaquer. Right now, in the Money in the Bank women's match, you have Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and, of course, that one person to be determined, Josh.
Well, really quick, I'm sorry. Can you give us who the one person may be? And just for the fun of it, let's throw out there who we think it may be.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I did just give them, but I'll give you the
I'm
triple.
sorry. I wasn't listening.
It's okay. It's a triple threat match between Liv Morgan, Ivy Nile, and Stephanie Vaquer.
Okay. Liv Morgan.
You're going Morgan? So are we going to use this also as a bonus? We could.
There'd be 2 bonuses.
That's fine. I mean, we don't have enough. We have 4 matches on the card, so I think we can add that. Okay. So Morgan, and then who do you think's going to win it, Jason?
That's the wrong person.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's Josh.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Josh, go ahead. Let's hear yours.
I'm actually going Vakur.
Oh, okay. And then who wins?
Well, who does Jeff think's going to win this triple threat match first?
I don't think it's going to be Avi now. It's going to be between Morgan or Vakur. Vakur. That's who I'm thinking. All right, Josh, who do you think's going to win?
I've got a couple of thoughts here.
Well, only one of them can be your pick.
This is true. Because there's a part of me that's like, Naomi could do it. She's been getting a lot of push lately. But I'm going to go Roxanne Perez.
Oh, okay. Perez. All right.
She was the Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, good point on that. They have been setting her up for something possible
and
to
also
this.
the runner-up.
Yes. Yep. Jason?
I have a few different choices on this, but only one of them can be my pick. I want to go Alexa Bliss because I think it will be Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Rhea Ripley because Rhea hasn't had Money in the Bank yet, right?
No, I don't think she has.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, she has now.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be Rhea.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's going to be Alexa. I'm picking Rhea.
Mommy's always on top.
Bliss. I'm going Alexa Bliss.
Why is that?
I think has she done very much since she came back, Josh?
Alexa?
Yeah.
Let's see. She came back Royal Rumble. She was in the Elimination Chamber. That was the last time we saw her until these qualifier matches, basically.
Okay, in fairness, she did have a backstage segment with Charlotte.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
So don't forget about that.
Yeah.
We can't forget about that.
No.
Actually,
I'd like to change mine to Charlotte.
Who knows? The Wyatt Six might help her.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there may be something with that.
They are back.
Yeah, it shows because wasn't like Alexa Bliss at one point going to be basically Sister Abigail, or something adjacent to it.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going Alexa Bliss. Also, that way, in case I do retain my title, if I retain my title, it's not through a technicality.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Same thing. We got one person to be determined. That will be in a triple threat match on Monday Night Raw, June 2nd, between AJ Styles, CM Punk, and El Grande Americano.
So sad that Chad Gable lost his qualifier.
Yeah, I know.
We could have had Chad Gable and El Grande in this match.
I know.
I know. All right, Josh.
I think that will be one of the biggest what-ifs of our time.
What, El Grande Americano?
Versus Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be. It'll be like El Generico and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I mean, match perfectly with one another. Never going to see it.
Nope.
Americano.
Okay.
I think he's got a bright
Oh,
future. That's
okay.
the women's match.
Yep. I didn't realize where my cursor was. Americano. All right, Jason.
Americano. Sorry, you caught me in a yawn.
Punk.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, I could see that, but why have Chad Gable lose to then have Americano lose?
He is a speed champion, by the way.
That is. I mean, that's true. I don't know.
Okay, here's my reasoning for not going with Punk.
Okay.
Okay. He's getting to be a bit fragile.
Well,
He's done pretty well in this WWE run, other than the Royal Rumble last year.
He hasn't been in a lot of high-intensity weapon matches, big bump matches. He's not exactly big bump Punk.
That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean that's just my opinion. You pick him. I would love it if Punk won. I don't see the point in having Chad Gable lose to then have Americano lose.
Why is that? Are they?
I think that with their styles lining up so much that it just wouldn't make sense. Like, because, people, I think, are going to be 50-50 on that.
Fair.
On Gable and Americano.
Yeah.
And I think that if you don't want Gable to win, then you want Americano to win. It's just, they're very similar. That's all.
Fair.
It's like Elias and Ezekiel.
They even have the same tattoo, weirdly.
I know.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Man, must be. I'm still going to stick with Punk. For
Okay.
mine. All right, Josh, who do you think's going to win?
This is the tricky one right here.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll give who is in this match. Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, and Andrade.
Andrade still works there after getting divorced from Charlotte?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yep, he just won his qualifier match on SmackDown this past Friday night.
Against who?
Carmelo Hayes and who was the other one? I forgot the third one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I know Carmelo was one of them. I can't remember who. Yeah, I can't remember who the other one was.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Josh?
I'm going to have to go. So Money in the Bank is in Los Angeles. So LA Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would have went with Rollins otherwise, but I'll give it to Knight.
Yeah. Jason?
You see, I want to go LA Knight. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think story-wise, it's going to make more sense on Rollins. Just because Rollins has kind of the faction behind him.
Yeah.
LA Knight, I think, will be about to get it. He will be right at the top. He'll be reaching for it. Boom. Gets it taken away from him.
All right.
Maybe Paul Heyman takes it. Maybe Braun Breaker goes up there and literally kills LA Knight. I don't know.
I mean, might. You know,
He might.
Yeah.
He could eat him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Solo Sikoa.
I can see it happening, crazy enough.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah. That's a joke.
Andrade.
You know who I'm actually thinking, though?
No, who?
Penta.
Penta.
Yeah, I'm really thinking Penta.
Why Penta?
I don't know. I feel like matches like this just play into him a lot better.
He's definitely having a big spot with Andrade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's definitely going to be a sunset flip somewhere in there.
I think they take each other out.
They might. They might. I don't think it's going to be Andrade. I do think storyline-wise, Rollins does make the most sense, but maybe it makes too much sense.
Keep in mind, it's not Vince in charge anymore.
That's true.
Right now. Never say never.
Or what?
They always say never in this business. You know, I'm going to go Rollins.
Okay.
I feel like it does make too much sense, but maybe you making the argument that it's not Vince booking it anymore kind of helps a little bit, even though I still think that there are certain aspects that do still linger around a little bit, but not nearly as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
Final match, though, tag match. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso taking on John Cena, Waboo-doo, and Jason's favorite wrestler, Logan Paul. Jesus. Now, we all know who your favorite wrestler is.
Jesus?
Bobby Blaze.
I knew it. He's a Bobby Blaze head.
I am Blaze.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, who do you got?
It's a hard one. I can see you going either way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Do you want
kind
the
of
champ to lose,
50-50.
or do you want the champ to lose?
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, World Heavyweight Champion in one corner, WWE Champion the other.
Okay, Logan Paul's taking the pin, right?
I don't know.
Because there's a part of me that almost thinks that Rhodes and Jay will win to set up a rematch between Cody and John at SummerSlam. But then again, does Cody win that rematch? Screw it, Cody and Jay.
Okay. Jason.
You see, I told myself that I would never pick Logan Paul. So I'm not going to. John Cena will win.
So you want me to just put down Cena
Cena.
and not Paul?
Cena.
Cena. Okay.
See, Paul.
C. Paul. There you go.
Jeff?
Oh, this is final countdown. This is what it comes down to. This is for all the marbles. I'm kind of in agreement with
Russo.
Yeah. I'm kind of in agreement with Josh that this would set up a rematch between John Cena and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. But I'm also like Jason. I don't want to choose Logan Paul, but I can also see John Cena.
I can.
Yeah. But the question is, who takes the pin? Is it Jey Uso, your champion, or Cody Rhodes, who even though he's a previous champion, a future multiple-time champion?
I think it depends on how you have them take the pin.
True.
Because if you have it to where Logan Paul pins Jey Uso, then you set up a match there.
A rematch.
Yep.
If you have it to where the heels cheat, then you're still making your baby faces look strong.
Yeah.
If it's a clean pin, then that's that becomes a bit more of an issue.
I didn't think about it. There could be a rematch between Paul and Jay at SummerSlam as well, because they just fought at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Now you already locked in your pick there.
I did.
Yeah. So Jeff?
C. Paul.
C. Paul.
Logan Paul pins Jey Uso, sets up that rematch.
Maybe.
Yep. That's going to be my final answer on that. So, and we're running a little long on this segment. So, real quick, on this day in wrestling history. June 1st, 1996, the World Wrestling Peace Festival took place at the Los Angeles Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. The event was promoted by Antonio Inoki and brought together matches and wrestlers from NJPW, WCW, NWA, AAA, and CMLL. The main event saw Inoki team with NWA World's Champion Dan Severn to defeat Yoshiaki Fujiwara and Oleg Taktarov. The semi-main event saw then WCW World Heavyweight Champion The Giant defeat Sting in a non-title match. The event was considered a box office failure with less than 6,000 fans in attendance at the 17,000 capacity arena.
Not going to lie, I would have loved to have seen Inoki versus Dane Severn.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been absolutely awesome. June 1st, 2008, WWE One Night Stand took place at the San Diego Sports Arena in San Diego, California. All the matches on the show had extreme stipulations, with Edge defeating The Undertaker in the main event in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. The win gave Edge the vacant World Heavyweight Championship and forced The Undertaker to leave WWE. In reality, Taker was taking time off to heal injuries and returned at SummerSlam a couple of months later. Also on the show, Triple H retained the WWE Championship in a last man standing match over Randy Orton.
And the following year, One Night Stand will become Extreme Rules.
Yes. Finally, June 1st, 2019, two title changes changed hands at what many consider to be the greatest NXT event to date. NXT TakeOver 25, held at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The main event saw Adam Cole defeat Josh Cole's long-lost cousin.
He's dead to me.
Defeat Johnny Gargano in a classic 31-minute match to win the NXT Championship. The other new title holders on the evening were the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, who won a four-way ladder match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Danny Burch and Oni Larkin, and Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. And that's going to be it for that segment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined here with my illustrious co-host, Josh Cole, Bebe.
Yeah.
And then Jason Lykens, the reflection of perfection, or could I say Dr. Lykens right now?
Dr. Lykens, thank you very much.
Yes, he finally got his doctorate in Ultimo Dragonology. But they are not the only two that are here with me right now. This other person, he is a 17-year veteran of the professional wrestling business. You can catch him in Rise Pro Wrestling, Appalachian Championship Wrestling, All-Star Wrestling, among other promotions. He is a former ASW Heavyweight Champion, ASW Tag Team Champion, along with plenty of other accolades. He will make his in-ring return this Saturday with DDTrash teammate Bruce Gray and manager Gary Dameron by their side as they take on the Heat Seekers of Sigmund and Elliott Russell at ASW Bash in Beckley 5 in the Beckley Raleigh Convention Center. From Chillicothe, Ohio, Pure Trash, Ron Mathis. How you doing, Ron?
Hey, well, I'm good, guys. I actually prefer Doctor too, though.
Listen, I get it. Dr. Trash, would it be Dr. Mathis or Dr. Trash?
Whichever you prefer.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm going to go Dr. Trash. Yeah. I think that sounds better.
It does.
Yeah, sounds good.
It does.
And it's great because you have one doctor talking to another doctor. It's a paradox.
Doctor?
Yeah. Doctor. One place I always like to start off with everybody, it's kind of cliche, but everybody's like story into getting into the wrestling business or just being a fan of the wrestling business is a little bit different. How did you first discover wrestling, and what led to you going into the wrestling business?
Well, I don't really have a memory of discovering wrestling because the way my parents explained it to me is that when I was a baby, anytime I'd be yelling or crying, when wrestling came on, they'd sit me in front of it and I'd watch it without blinking. And then when it ended, I'd just start yelling and screaming again. So I don't have one single conscious memory of not being obsessed with wrestling. And then when it came into getting into it, it was just pretty much the plan was always to do it as soon as I turned 18. But ran into some walls because there ain't nothing had happening in Chillicothe. And it took me a little while to figure out where to go. And then when I was about 24, got the right group of friends together, and we went and trained with Cody Hawk.
Okay, yeah, I was, because looking up, I know that online information is, there's definitely some discrepancies, but I was looking up to who trained you and stuff, and I did see a few different names, but that was one of them that was brought up. So with that, so have you just been a lifelong wrestling fan?
Yeah, like I said, I kind of tunnel vision when I was a kid. I didn't play with any other toys. I didn't have G.I. Joes or cars or anything like that. It was always just wrestling, kind of to the point where it took me to a certain age to realize not everyone had something they were that obsessed with. I thought everyone had a thing or two that, hey, but then I realized I was a weirdo.
What wrestling toys did you have?
I mean, I was mostly just into the action figures, so it just depends on what age I'm at. When I was 5, I had those big, I can never remember the brand names, the big rubber ones that just stood there like the Hogan and the Iron Sheik. And
is that like the LFJ or something, LJF?
There's one that's LJN, and then there's Galoob, and there's, like I said, there's so many of them, I can't keep it straight. I like playing with them. I'm not really the people that collect them and know all the brand names. But if you just line up 1990, I was 5, so whatever the WWF and WCW are making then, and so on and so forth, if you follow my age.
Yeah. So, who were your wrestling inspirations, growing up and maybe influenced you in the ring?
Well, my very first favorites that I remember were Stig and Macho Man, because I take, the bright collars and the crazy voices and the energy drew me to it. And then I have a theory that as you get older, turn into a teenager, that's when you have one way, you either completely lose interest in wrestling or you become a weirdo or a nerd or a wrestler, some way obsessed with it. At 14, that's when ECW was getting really big in the Attitude Era. So around then, in my younger ages, Macho Man, Sting, and then once I get to a teenager, I found ECW, and then Tommy Dreamer and Raven, RVD, that all where all my hardcore background came from, really.
Okay.
It's funny because growing up, I always wanted a leather jacket because of Raven.
Yeah.
It was very moody. Anyways.
Yeah.
But I'm being an individual from Boone County, I'm curious as to where the whole Pure Trash moniker came from.
Really, that just kind of came organically. There was I've never been I don't own a pair of pants with a zipper. I like being comfortable. I own 2 shirts that have sleeves, and I consider that dressing up. I'm wearing a short sleeve T-shirt, and just at one point there was a promotion where I was the heavyweight champion. And this promoter, or not even promoter, it was a booker, was like, hey, man, you're my champion, and you're showing up to the building looking like this, and I just don't get it. It's not a good reflection. I remember at first just rolling my eyes and being like it's the indies, man. I was like, I get it, but I'm coming here, but then eventually when I transitioned, I started thinking, I was like, you know what? This is me. This is who I am. If I just make it part of my gimmick, what's your beef with it? So I just started calling myself the White Trash Messiah. And then I found out, like, you know, if you break it just down to trash, it becomes incredibly marketable. Plus, I feel comfortable in my skin when I call myself that. I'm trash and I'm proud.
Listen, I grew up in a trailer park in Shillian, West Virginia, so I can definitely relate to it. Especially, like,
Hell yeah.
because I've been going to, like, ASW shows since 2018-ish, and like you and Huff Manley and a couple other ones that stood out. But definitely you, because I heard you screaming trash, and I'm like, oh, I can relate to that guy. Big time. So is that what led to White Trash Forever?
Yeah. That was actually in New Jersey at H2O Wrestling. It was owned by Matt Tremont.
Okay.
And yeah, me, Bruce, and Tyler. I suggested the idea of us coming together as a trio: Bruce Gray, Tyler Hawks, and me. And Tremont actually came up with the name, so all the credit to him for that. Because again, marketing is very important in this business. Like it's the WTF thing and putting it on shirts and stuff. So. The idea of the group came from me. The name was 100% Bulldozer.
I'm curious because you mentioned New Jersey, and I've been to New Jersey a few times, and I hate New Jersey. What do you think?
I hate it too.
What is the worst state that you've been to? And why is it New Jersey?
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. Me and Brucey, we're real big on, like, we get to the show, we wrestle, we make our money, we have our fun, and then we try to get home at as reasonable an hour as possible. So usually the only thing we see in the cities is the venue and the sheets, if there is one. But as far as if I still had to pick one for my train, it would absolutely be New Jersey. The driving is ridiculous. Everyone is just jerks when it comes to driving. I can't pump my own gas like I'm 6. I've never gotten a good reason for that. Yeah, Jersey sucks.
Yeah, I hate Jersey.
I like wrestling there. The wrestling, let me be clear on that. The wrestling scene there is cool. The fans are awesome. I like the wrestling community. The actual physical state. I hate the wrestling community.
You hear that, New Jersey? People hate you.
We're just not fond of it.
Two learned doctors hate you.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. I just remember because I went to New York City when I was in college, and I drove from like here through Pennsylvania. Then when we got to the Jersey border, I pulled over and was like, somebody else is driving. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that.
Chicago's pretty bad too. Chicago's pretty bad to drive in.
I could imagine. So you've been in the wrestling business for quite some time. What do you think the biggest difference between Ron Mathis now, 17 years in, and the Ron Mathis like back then, only 1 year in? Might be a bit of a loaded question.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. I mean, first and foremost comes my body. I'm still moving and chugging along, but I got now bad knee, bad neck, bad shoulders. I wish I could move like Ronnie at 17, but other than that, I think it's I prefer being a veteran, not just based on not having to eat the sandwiches all the time, but just the longer you've been doing it, the more things slow down in the ring, and the more complex stories you can tell, and the more people start trusting you. It's like, yeah, I miss the athleticism, but I way prefer the way like your eyes just open to the business. It only comes with reps and traveling.
So you kind of mentioned him before, but how did you and Bruce Gray end up teaming? And like, did you have a different name before DDTrash?
Well, we started teaming because we were just like ships that crossed the night kind of, because we're from the same city, Chillicothe, obviously. He graduated 1 year ahead of me. He's 1 year older than me because he is old as hell. And it just so happened, though, the year that I got in was the year that he got out as a referee, because he refereed for years, pretty well traveled, did some Ring of Honor, went to England, dropped Tracy Smothers on his head. And so eventually I'm a couple of years in, and I hear word that he's getting back into the business, and I should hit him up to travel together. And I didn't know him at all, but I'm like, I don't know, man. This guy kind of looks like a square. Is he going to be able to handle travel with me? But eventually we lined up, and we traveled together. And after a few years of traveling together and having like hundreds of matches against each other, we were at a point where we were wrestling each other 25, 30 times a year. And we were finally just like, man, we both like tag team wrestling. And he's always getting thrown together in tag teams. He's like a tag team specialist, like the Arn Anderson of the Shindies. He would constantly be put with this guy and then put with that guy, and he'd have to just make it work. Like, why don't we just do it and actually commit to it? And once we did, it just really, really took off. And we already knew we were in love with tag wrestling, but once we committed to we have one tag team partner over again.
Okay, so you and Bruce, DDTrash, how did Gary get involved with being y'all's manager?
He's just a politicker, and he always wanted to put himself over. He's just a real piece of if I could change one thing about my career, it would be that I never made Gary my manager and let him steal my spot. No, I'm just kidding.
I I say we leave it.
I'll leave it. Just leave it. I'm just kidding, too. He's a sensitive guy. We love you, Gary. We were getting to an anniversary show, and we wanted something big and special. So we just kind of came up with a thing where we thought it was going to be a one-off because the fans love Gary, man. I've never seen a promoter who has a relationship with his fans like Gary at ASW. That's why the Bash at Beckley is so successful. It's why every show at Madison is so successful, is because Gary and his fans love each other. So we're like, let's give him something special. It's the anniversary show. Let's have Gary manage. He's never been involved in the show. So we plan a one-off. We got like matching glasses and a snazzy outfit, and Gary wound up body slamming Shane Storm, which was one of the biggest pops I've ever heard in Madison. And then after the fact, we're like, why make it a one-off? Like, the fans love it and they deserve it, and so we adopted it, and it's a special thing just for ASW. There's been occasions where we've done it outside, but 99.999% of the time, if you want to see DDTrash managed by Gary Dameron, it's got to happen at ASW.
No, I'm curious. What is the injury that you're currently recovering from?
I tore my ACL and my meniscus in October.
Okay, how did that happen, and what has the journey been like coming back from that?
Well, I was wrestling Donovan Dijak for Rise in Pennsylvania, and at the very, very beginning of the match, I was going to come off the middle rope and hit an elbow on him, and as soon as I pumped to jump, the rope rolled underneath me. And instead of just trying to land safely, I was like, man, this is the very beginning of the match. I'm wrestling Dijak. I'm going to save this elbow.
Yeah.
And instead of saving it, I just landed all on one leg, and it just you could see it just go underneath me, and I go down. And at first I was like, I've hurt my knee a million times in matches and been able to work through it and then get to the back and work it off. So I'm like, all right, maybe that's what this is. So I keep wrestling, and at one point you can watch the match on Rise's YouTube. The match is up, but I block a punch from him, and then when I punch him, if you were watching, you would think I forgot what happened and that he punched me, because I punch him and I just go down immediately. But I get through what I can. I wrestle the match is like 18 more minutes, and it's the very beginning. So I wrestle 16, 17 minutes with my ACL going, just trying to stand up. Get to the back. I can tell something's wrong because I can't put any weight on it at all, but I know I don't want to go to the hospital in Pennsylvania. I always hate that. I want to get home. So I got all the way home, went to the doctor the next day. Then this is where the waiting process really started, because I had to wait like 2 weeks to get an MRI, and they told me it was torn. And then it was 2 more months before surgery, so I had surgery on December 18th. And then from there, it's just been physical therapy the entire time and working hard and trying to get back in the ring. It's also a confusing thing, too, because the doctors, the timetable they tell you, it's like, man, I've done 100 wrestlers who've had this surgery, and none of them have been out the amount of time they try to give you. But I know my body, and I think I'm ready and good to go for next Saturday in Beckley.
So with this time off, how does it feel to return this Saturday?
Well, I don't. A lot of wrestlers have like shoot jobs during the day, which I'm too stupid. I don't for whatever reason. So I've been managing Brucey the entire time I've been out. So I haven't actually left the business. I've been there. I've been around. I've been able to see the fans, so that's made things a little easier. But man, it's also made it harder, because like there's always a point in time when I'll be sitting in the back wearing my little manager's tie, and I'll be looking around, seeing everyone getting ready for their matches, and I'm just like, this sucks. Plus the fact that usually, when you sit in the car for 3 hours, you get that adrenaline pump and that adrenaline spike, but it's just managing. So, like, on the one hand, it felt good to stay close to the business. I felt like I was in a bird cage. So I am dying to explode. Because, like you guys said, I've been doing this about 17 years, and the longest I've ever been out before this was 2-3 months. Like, I had an elbow surgery at one point, and then during the pandemic, I was only out 2 or 3 months because me and Bruce filmed an empty arena best of 7. And sold it online. So even when the world shut down for 6 months, I only took 3 months off. So this is like twice as long as I've ever had off. It feels weird.
Okay. One more question, and then we'll let you go. Like what we said before, you and Bruce Gray are taking on the Heat Seekers, Elliott Russell and Sigmund, this Saturday. What do you want people to know about this match going in? I've seen the Heat Seekers quite a bit in ASW. Sigmund, I have probably hollered at a couple times from the crowd, as has everybody. Just, what do you want the fans to know about it?
Well, as far as tag team success in ASW, it starts and begins with 2 tag teams, DDTrash and the Heat Seekers. And at first, we just both happened to casually mention that in promos that we think we're the best. And then it turned into a thing where Bruce wrestled Sigmund, and in that match, they attacked me. They took out my leg. They took off my brace and hit me with a chair and put me in a single-leg crab. And they tried to slow down my return. So now this Saturday in Beckley, It's DDTrash versus the Heat Seekers, which, again, in my mind is determined who is the best tag team in ASW history, and I'm coming for revenge because they tried to keep me on the shelf longer.
All right. ASW Bash in Beckley 5 this upcoming Saturday, June 7th at the Beckley Raleigh Convention Center. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Meet and greet will start at 4 o'clock. Ron Mathis, thank you very much for coming on the show.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Let's go ahead and shift gears to the main event.
Looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
Welcome to the main event, where we go ahead and let you know what your upcoming week of professional wrestling is going to look like internationally, nationally, and, of course, locally. Wednesday, June 4th, Stardom New Blood 22. Also on Wednesday, AEW Fighter Fest, a 4-hour back-to-back broadcast of Dynamite and Collision. Dynamite will air at its usual time of 8 p.m. Eastern on TBS, with Collision immediately following at 10 p.m. on TNT. Collision is being preempted from its usual Saturday night time slot to accommodate for TNT's coverage of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Friday, June 6th, TNA Against All Odds, and then the rest of these are on Saturday, June 7th. WWE and AAA's Worlds Collide, streaming for free on YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This will feature wrestlers from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AAA, and TNA. And then at 7 o'clock that night, WWE Money in the Bank. We've already done predictions for that.
Yeah, you're losing.
Yeah, I probably am. Let's be honest. if history's to go by anything, I'm either tying or losing. It's feast or famine, I guess.
Not quite 17. What?
Yep. On Saturday, June 7th, and Sunday, June 8th, Game Changer Wrestling has 2 nights of shows. Saturdays is Tournament of Survival X, while Sundays is Cage of Survival 4. And, of course, we're going to go ahead and switch over to locally on Friday, June 6th. House of Pain, which is a wrestling school based out of Western Maryland, will be at the Charlestown American Legion in Charlestown, West Virginia, presenting
Superior Warfare.
Bell time is 8 o'clock, and tickets are $10, but is cash only and is first come, first served.
Get there first.
This will feature a 8-man tournament to crown the inaugural House of Pain Superior Champion. Also on Friday, Premier Wrestling League Mid-Atlantic will present
Mountain Fiesta Fight.
as part of the Cole Chevy Mountain Festival held at the Bluefield City Park in Bluefield, West Virginia. This event will feature TNA legend Hernandez of LAX. Bell time is 6 o'clock, and admission to the festival is free.
It's free, doesn't cost any money.
The rest of these are on Saturday, June 7th.
Saturday.
Big Time Pro Wrestling will be at the Wayne Community Center in Wayne, West Virginia, presenting the
Wayne County Showdown.
Bell time is 8 o'clock, and tickets are $10. This will be a fundraiser for the Wayne Community Center Buddy League Basketball.
Wayne there.
So bring more people. Tickets are $10. That's more money for the Wayne Community Center's Buddy League Basketball.
There you go. Yeah. And finally, World Domination Wrestling Alliance will be in action for
Broken Barriers.
Will be an all-women show held at the South Berkeley Fire Hall in Inwood, West Virginia. Bell time is 6:15, and tickets are $20.
Not finally, because we got a big one as well.
$20, though. I have to say again how much the tickets are because I like to talk.
Yeah.
$20.
Ain't that the truth?
That's 2 10s or 120 or 20 Washingtons. That's $20.
Yeah.
You good?
Broken Barrier.
No, he's not. He's not. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we do have one more event. We've talked about it on the show, but we're just going to cap off.
WrestleMania, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia's WrestleMania Bash.
To spoil it, it's Bash and Beckley.
5.
5.
Stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
Bash and Beckley 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. That was Jason Lykens, Dr. Jason Lykens.
Doctor Reflection of Perfection.
Who also was able to...
We did find out that Ron Mathis is also not Ultimo Dragon.
He is not.
He is not.
But he also is Dr. Trash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but the three of us did discuss off the air.
Trashonomics.
And it was asked if Dr. Trash, Ron Mathis, is Ultimo Dragon, and I can definitively say, using my doctorate degree, no, he is not.
He is not. Ron Mathis will also be teaming with Bruce Gray this upcoming Saturday, June 7th, to take on the Heat Seekers, Bash and Beckley 5. Also, Josh Cole, baby. Forgot to mention Josh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm here.
Yeah, Josh is here.
He's here.
Didn't get to ask my questions.
No, sorry. All-Star Wrestling, based in West Virginia, is once again bringing its annual wrestling super show, the Bash and Beckley 5, to the
Bash and Beckley 5. That was my part, but I don't have the press release in front of me.
To the Beckley Raleigh Convention Center in Beckley, West Virginia, on June 7th, 2025. The Bash and Beckley event has become a staple in the calendar of ASW since 2021, with nearly 1,500 people packing the Beckley Raleigh Convention Center.
Still the Armory to me.
For each of its last 4 years, talent at previous bashes have included AEW stars FTR, Dustin Rhodes, Matt Hardy, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Magnum TA, Matt Cardona, and this year's bash promises to be the biggest yet in the history of ASW.
All of the people previously mentioned are not Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah. Scheduled to appear at the Bash and Beckley 5 is over 30 Wrestling Hall of Famers and legends from the past and present, along with future stars of professional wrestling. Household names include, such as Jerry the King Lawler, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the Good Bros, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Enforcer Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson, Rock and Roll Express member Ricky Morton and Kerry Morton, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, Bully Ray Dudley, Psycho Love, Angel Love, and Fodder, Celeste Bonin, Jillian Hall, Missy Hyatt, Earl Hebner, Tugboat,
Toot Toot,
Demolition, The Powers of Pain, Heath, Jerry Lynn, Boris Zukov, Marty Jannetty, Ronnie Garvin, Rip Rogers, The Brooklyn Brawler, Harvey Whippleman, Matt Cross, M-Dog 20, and more to be announced.
And more.
The Glamour Girls.
Yes, the Glamour Girls.
Glamour Girls.
They were just announced this past week.
The longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history, but WWE doesn't say that.
No. How many days was it?
906 days with the original WWF Women's Tag Team Championship.
See, there we go.
There's some numbers for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Every ticket to the event also gives fans access to the meet and greet area with all of the scheduled talent. Talent sets their own prices for autographs and pictures, though. Vendors will also be at the event with a special photo opportunity with Ric Flair's Starrcade 1983 ring-worn robe at Art Collectibles and more.
You can also get your picture in said robe.
Yes.
Wearing the robe.
Matches include... You know, you mentioned Ric Flair. You do got to throw a woo out there. Woo! Matches include the marquee first-time encounter between Brock Anderson with Arn Anderson in his corner, taking on Kerry Morton with Ricky Morton in his corner.
I hope there's a spine buster.
The ASW Heavyweight Championship will be defended when Huff Manley takes on Jason the Gift Kincaid and Matt Cross.
I hope there's a spine buster.
The event will also see the return of Ron Mathis after nearly a year-long injury. We just had a chance to speak with Ron in the previous segment.
He's back.
He is.
I hope there's a spine buster.
Yes. One of Ron's moves is like a Canadian destroyer, except it's a Chillicothe destroyer.
Do you? It just makes me think of when we watched AEW and Ricky Morton did the Canadian destroyer. And then we just kept screaming Canadian Destroyer. And all the people around us were very annoyed.
They were incredibly annoyed with us.
And also, we did that completely sober. We're just...
That's just how we are.
annoying.
If you ever want to know how it is on this show, which you probably don't, just know that we're almost the same exact off the air as we are on the air.
Yeah.
Except worse.
I'm a bit more colorful off the air.
I think all three of us are.
Yeah,
that's
well, not Josh.
Oh, well, you know.
He's boring.
Micah will defend. He's not from Arizona.
No.
Micah will defend the ASW Women's Championship. New ASW Tag Team Champions will be crowned, and the event will be capped off by a steel cage match. ASW celebrated its 19th year as a company in March and is known for bringing some of the best professional wrestling action to the tri-state. Promoter Gary Dameron has over 30 years of promoting experience and is excited to bring West Virginia's biggest wrestling event back to Beckley for its 5th consecutive year. ASW Commissioner Josh Brown has tried to make the matches for Bash and Beckley 5 compelling and feels there is something for everyone. Also, local favorites Casey King, Super Oprah, ASW Women's Champion Micah, DDTrash, Aaron West, Noah Ray, Scott Anderson, and more will compete with 10 matches on the card. Tickets can be purchased off the Beckley Raleigh Convention Center website. You can also get them at the door, but they are highly recommending that people pre-order the tickets.
It's huge.
I will tell you this right now. I am excited to go to it.
Yes. We were planning, the three of us were planning on doing it last year, but things got in the way.
Yes.
This year we have more plans set in stone to go. So, yes, we will definitely be up there.
I'm making my wife go with me. She is not excited.
It's okay. Ivy was going to go with me, but other plans popped up, so she will not be.
Okay. Actually, I take that back. My wife is excited, just hesitant.
You know, I kind of understand why.
Yeah.
Being around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is the complete opposite of me. She is a very quiet, shy individual, does not like crowds, does not like loud things, so I'm going to take her to a loud, crowded thing.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next will be Monster Jam.
Oh, if you want to message us, you can follow us on Facebook and message us there, facebook.com/The Grill Out. You can email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social. And until next time, fellow wrestling fans, have a good one.
And good night, back.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.